That's a Phoenix.
So we made it to the TT and we're doing a little recon.
Let's go.
Got some goofy aero helmets on, but we're gonna be rolling. The road's nice. Quite a bit of bumps though. So I don't know how it'll feel on the aero bars.
We're out here, our third time at Valley of the Sun. This is one of my all-time favorite races. So super happy to be out back here. Looking forward to racing some of the best juniors in the country, and hopefully we can get on that podium.
I'm racing 17-18 this year with Jack, and supposed to be racing 15-16, but I decided to do 17-18. So it's me and Jack against like 108 guys. There's like 108 of us in our field, so quite a lot of people. And yeah, we'll see how we do. I'm a little nervous, but we'll be out there.
Alrighty guys, so we're here with TT specialist Dante Young. Dante, do you have any tips for pacing a time trial?
I'm gonna tell you what a really wise Corey Williams once told me, and break it up into sections. All right, so you got the way out, then you got the right turn to the turnaround, and the way back to the stop sign, then the home straight. Just break up in a section. Don't go out too hard, too early, and just whatever you feel like you might want to do, you probably should turn it back by like 20%. Wow. And go fast, bro. You know, to make sure you hydrate, make sure you stretch, make sure them hips is opened up, tighten the core, all right? And, you know, have some fun, man.
Thanks, Dante. This guy's gonna win the Pro TT tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Let's
go. Got it. I appreciate it, man.
Head to the TT, go get warmed up. Jack goes at like 2:45 and then I'm at like 3:10. So we're gonna go head out there. All right, Jack, you're about to go warm up. How you feeling?
A little nervous, feel ready. I'm excited. It's gonna be a banger of a ride.
Getting everything set up.
It's gonna be fun.
Let's go.
Why? What happened?
The way back, I died.
What did you get? What did you average?
27.1 speed.
What was your watt?
Time, but
what was your watts?
306. That was PT. My hammerhead flew off like halfway to go. But other than that, it was good. Good TT.
Eli, how'd it go for you?
Got like, what, 43rd? I'm happy with that. It was a good effort.
Yeah, I ended up in 23rd. Kind of just like started strong, holding what I thought I could hold the whole time, and then hit the turnaround and just died. The numbers really dipped. But I kept pushing through, made it to the finish line in like 22 flat. So it was an awesome time. Looking forward to the next couple days of racing. Hopefully we can make something happen. Let's go. Day 2, the road race. This is one of my favorite road race courses. There's a lot of big teams out here today. A lot of good times in the TT yesterday. So it's been a pretty hectic morning for us. Eli lost his hammerhead in the TT yesterday, so he's been running around trying to find it, and we're all over the place, but hopefully we make it to the start line. And yeah, I think we have a good shot at winning. We just got to make sure to play our cards right, so gonna try and get in some breaks. If it all comes back together, give it everything to the finish. Let's go.
Hey man, if you're trying to grab a bottle, you gotta make sure you're on the outside. I'm talking to you, Eli. Jack, you came by, talk about some ice. We ain't got no ice, baby. We just cool as it is, all right? Cool, enjoy.
All right, guys, so we have 80 miles of this road race course, so like 5 laps for our field, and it was a banger of a race.
Yeah, so going into it, the GC standings, EF is in the top 3, and then Hot Tubes is in 4 or 5. So they also had the 2 biggest teams, so everyone was going to be looking to them to start the moves and pull stuff back. But going into it, mine and Eli's plan was to try and get into the breakaways. Eli would follow more of the early race moves, and I would try to save my legs for more of the end of the race and finish. So immediately though, Eli and I start moving up. Eli's towing me up to the front, and we were just trying to like get near the front to stay safe and ride next to the EF and Hot Tubes guys. But I don't know, someone yelled like, just let them go. And so then they like let a small gap open to us, and I just ride zone 2. Like it's honestly better to be out here off the front and safer. So we were off the front for like, I don't know, a quarter of a lap, not very much. But yeah, going into the first hill right here. And Eli, how are you feeling during this race?
I was feeling pretty good at that point, and honestly, I was expecting this race to be like really hard from the gun, like all out 80 miles. The only thing that was like really hard was the end of the hill, you know, when it gets the most steep and everybody's like trying to get feed and just go as hard as they can. That was the really hard part. But other than that, I felt pretty good, and the downhill was really fast. And as you can see, like we only get like half the road because of onward traffic. So we have like this lane and then half the bike lane, and it's really hard to move up. Like when you see a gap, you have to take it. So like right here, I'm trying to pass these guys, but we're just going too hard.
Yeah, you can see Eli trying to move up here on the outside, and he gets bumped a little bit, goes into the gravel and hops back up. There were a lot of attacks throughout this race, but nothing really had the right teams and the right composition, so nothing really got a huge gap that we needed to worry about. Eli, what happened here with this crash?
Yeah, he just kind of took it way too wide and hit the gravel, but there were quite a few crashes, like probably 3, 4 in this road race, and it was just like riding the gravel and then just a little pile up. And the main one, Jack, you want to tell us about that one?
Yeah, so we're going through the feed zone going into our last lap, and we're passing, I believe it was the Cat 3 women, and they're on our right. And so everyone's trying to go get feed on our last lap, but they're trying to sprint for the finish of their race. So it got a little messy when we like mixed in with them, and someone ended up touching wheels. I actually like slid back to get feed and tried to not get in their way. So I had just gotten a bottle from my dad when someone crashed and took out like 20 people. I slammed on my brakes. I was one-handed and I went around, but the field was moving so fast. I tried getting back up to speed and chasing back on, and I caught some of these guys. And Alejandro from Hot Tubes caught up, and we had a group of like 5 of us taking really hard pulls, but in the end, we just couldn't get back on, and yeah, that was my race over, which I was really bummed about. I thought I had good legs and a good finish, but that's bike racing, and at least I stayed upright and didn't go down. But Eli, you were in there in the last lap. You want to tell us about how that finish climb was?
Yeah, so I didn't hear this crash, but because we were like cresting the hill at the front, and yeah, we just at that point we were going really hard, and that last lap we went really, really hard. Like Hot Tubes and EF were just throwing down attacks. Everybody's trying to cover, and it just made it really fast. And then the last hill, it was kind of all out for whoever could like scramble to get their best placing, and I got like 20th, 19th around there, and yeah, that was, I could only like not really sprint. I didn't really have anything left, but Ashlyn from EF got first, and then Enzo from Hot Tubes got second, and I finished win mid pack. But we were looking forward to the crit the next day.
Two things loaded. Okay, make it two things loaded.
He's ready for crit day. Let's go.
All right, guys, made it to the crit. Warming up, like 90 guys going in this crit, so it's gonna be kind of sketch. But yesterday in the road race, got like 19th. Jack got caught behind the really big feed zone crash, but other than that, it went well.
It's crit day. Eli's back there. He's loving it. This is probably the sketchiest of all the days, but we're looking forward to it. We're warming up right now in the 17-18 category. There were a lot of crashes yesterday, which usually there's no crashes in the road race. So hopefully everyone rides safe today. And yeah, it's a fun race. Goal is to stay up at the front, send it with like half a lap to go. And yeah, this race always comes down to a sprint. So we just got to give it everything the legs have got left.
Ashley Berry picking up the road race win.
Alrighty, third and final day. It's the crit day. We've already done 3 this season. So we were looking forward to this. We knew it was going to be fast and aggressive. And so the goal was to stay up at the front and give it everything to the line, try to follow promising looking moves. But yeah, this race in years past has almost always come down to a field sprint. So we didn't want to try to waste too much energy by trying to attack off the front.
As you can see right here, I'm pulling some stuff back, but then getting right back into the pack. Wanted to stay to the front, but it's really hard to stay to the front. We're going pretty fast, and it'll kind of slow down, and you'll get past. And there's lots of sprint efforts, and you can see Hot Tubes and EF are just at the front. They were doing that great. They were doing that great as a team. And it was also a pretty sketch crit race. It was like most of these guys' first crit of the season. But other than that, it went well.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are coming in off of the trainer and Zwift, but Eli and I are super privileged to be able to ride outside in the winter. But yeah, jumping into this race, I was actually pretty nervous and timid at the start. But as we got further and further in, I started to open up and be more comfortable riding close to people. As we got to like 7 laps to go, Gray from EF was off the front with Brendan from Hot Tubes chasing him, and I think Harry was on the wheel. And so those guys were up the road, and I bridged up, did a huge effort to get to Brendan and Harry, and then I pulled through, and those guys jumped on my wheel. And then I pulled up to Gray, and it was honestly a super promising looking move. But Brendan was refusing to work, and then Harry wouldn't pull until I got up to Gray. So I did a huge effort to bridge up to that, but we had a good gap, and I was taking some pretty hard pulls. So was Gray, but unfortunately Hot Tubes, I think, wanted it to come back to a field sprint, so they put the hammer down and pulled us back. Eli, you were sitting in, saving your legs.
Yeah, I kind of faded to the back halfway through the race and kind of sat there, and it was a little easier, not as many watts to do. But when it came to like when you were off the front, I saw you and I tried to somewhat get to the front to help keep the field at bay, but that didn't really work. But as you can see, nothing really went. All the teams were just getting on each other. So yeah, that's what went down.
Yeah, you take a pretty crazy line through this corner. What was that about?
Yeah, that corner was kind of bumpy, and I didn't really like it, so I tried the sidewalk, and it was quite a bit faster. Like, I passed quite a few guys, but I did that like twice, and then I called it quits.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to move up to the front. So here we're going into 1 to go, and Eli and I are too far back, and we know it. My legs are pretty toast. But Eli's trying to yell at me. He's like, come on, Jack, we got to go after this corner. So going into this corner, I think we're like probably in like 30th position. But we try to give it everything. But the front guys are going so fast. Like, we're going 36 miles an hour down this back straight. So you can't really move up. There was nothing we could do. We needed to move up sooner, but my legs were pretty toast.
Yeah, I was feeling okay, but it was just really hard to pass people when we're going that fast. But in the end, Ashlyn took home the win, and then Alejandro Che got second, and me and Jack rolled in for a mid-pack finish.
Yeah, thanks to everyone that came out and made it a super awesome weekend. We had like 110 juniors, so the pace was being driven the entire time. And yeah, we're looking forward to racing you guys the rest of the season.
Post crit, and man, that was hard and sketch, but that was a lot of fun. I got 21st, Jack got like 24th, so pretty good results and super successful.
Yeah, it was a super awesome weekend of racing out here in Valley of the Sun. Not the results we necessarily wanted, but we had an awesome time. Thank you all so much for watching our Valley of the Sun video.
As always,
you know it,
Bros Ride Bikes.